Learn to Knit Part 6, this is your practice pattern. To teach my Learn To classes, I use a chunky or bulky yarn. You sometimes will see a number 5 on it depending, and I like to use a US 11 size needle. This creates larger stitches to be able to see them, work up, and then I can also see a lot of progress in the actual fabric that I'm making fairly quickly. I also like to have them make a cup koozie because it's something usable that we can use and see like the excitement of being able to have a finished object pretty early on with while we're learning. It starts as a flat rectangle. We get to practice knit stitches, knits and purls in the center to create stockinette, and then ending with another section of knit stitches and binding off. This is what it would look like written out as a pattern. So I have the title up there, I have that we cast on 20, you knit the first 3 rows, then you purl a row, knit a row, purl a row, knit 3 rows, bind off all your stitches, and then we're going to seam the side. I see my knitting, there is a side I want the outside, we call that the right side, and then this is what the inside or the wrong side will look like. When I'm going to seam, I'm going to put my 2 right sides together. I'm going to thread my tapestry needle here to get that to go through with this bulkier yarn. I like to fold it over and create like a pinch between the pads, and that helps to guide it through that thinner eye. Now I start on the side that yarn's attached to, and I go in on the very corners and bring it around, and I'm always going to go in from the same side, and that creates a whip stitch. So you can see the yarn is coming around and going all the way down this side seam. There are tidier ways to seam, but while we're learning, I would much rather have a finished object. Then we can worry about finishing techniques later. Once I've gotten to that side, I'm going to actually start bringing it down the center seam to kind of hide that yarn. Once it goes one way, I'll start guiding it back down that seam under my whipped stitches the other way. Then I can trim my yarn to my project. There are other ways to weave in, but since we have a seam, we're going to use it. Then I have the tail from my initial slip knot. I'm going to bring it down that seam the same way and snip it the same way. So just kind of weave it in and out, trying not to have it go too close to the inside fabric. Once my seam is done, I'm going to turn my work inside out, or to the right side out, and I have a cup sleeve. And when someone tells you it looks great, say thanks, I made it.